Hello everyone. Thank you for coming here today for our Zoom media. Today we're going to highlight some of the questions for 2023 WA paper. Right. So this one I'm going to only go through focus on some of the questions that might have more standard questions, that skills that will be tested. The first one over here, this one is in standard form. I think you all should be able to correct the number in standard form. This question for 1B over here, right? What we need to do for this portion over here, we need to simplify it using the calculator. So we key everything in the calculator. But remember, when you key in your calculator, right, you need to remember to add in the brackets over here and do the division. If not, sometimes when you do division without the additional brackets, okay, the expression may give you the wrong answer. So for questions involving division, I will strongly encourage you to use fraction, okay, so that because division and multiplication is on the same level, so the calculator will not know which is the one that you want to do first. So you must put brackets to make sure the calculator know which one you want. So after you calculate using a calculator, you get this answer over here. Then you just need to change to standard form. What is standard form? Standard form, the number, right, must be a number smaller than 10, bigger than 1. Right? So smaller than 10, bigger than 1. So in this case, I have to put my decimal place at 2.4 over here. So smaller than 10, bigger than 1. Then I calculate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this one will be 10 to the power 6. And it's a large number, bigger than 10, bigger than 1 already. So it's going to be a positive power. Okay, if it's a very small number like this number here, right, is lesser than 1, so it will be a negative power. Okay, so then you compare P and then the power Q. So you should be able to get the answer. Right? Next question, question number 2 is not tested because this one is a Sec 2 work. Okay, but anyway, our textbook in this year, the syllabus don't have this portion unless we do the skill drawing. Okay, but we are going to test more on construction itself. So this question is not going to go through. Okay, now this one, I need to go through this. All right, this question is on compound interest. Okay, so let's begin with the first part, the formula on compound interest first. Compound interest always starts with total amount. P bracket 1 plus R over 100 power n. Okay, normally the formula will be given for end of year exam, right? But for test, this formula may not be given for your test, right? So you will have to memorize the formula on your own. So the formula for your test may not be given. All right, so if the formula is not going to be given, then you better make sure you remember the formula. This part is total amount. Now let's read the question here. Let's read the question over here. P dollars was invested sometimes, not all the time. So by standard default, we are supposed to remember the formula. Okay, thank you, Yichen, for your question. All right, so P was invested. I do not know the amount for P or some amount. Okay, but then they was invested at 1.65%. So this is your interest rate per year. Okay, and the investment is worth this number. This number after 12 years. So this number here is actually my total amount at the end of 12 years. This is not the original P. This is the total amount. That means in my formula over here, this total amount should be using the number. What number should it be? Nobody can answer. Okay, so this number will be $6085. P is the number that I do not know, so I'll keep P. 1 plus, what is the interest rate that we have? The interest rate is 1.65%, correct? So this one over here, the R, it should be the number 1.65%. Okay, my remedial, I don't like to just talk one way one. So if you can have the answers or whichever, you can type in the chat box and tell me the numbers based on the question that I asked, okay? And then, what is the power? What is the power over here at this portion? Okay, I need to know how many times. This is in per year, right? Answer of P, have you found, are you sure? Okay, so this one, the number is 12 years. So 12 will be the power over here, n number of times, which is the year. So 12. Okay, then if I look at this question, this whole portion here can be calculated using a calculator. Can you all please calculate the amount? Each I don't think your answer will be correct. Huh? This is P times whatever that this number is. Okay, I don't know this number. Yes, right here, the answer may be more likely to be correct. Okay, so in this case, I have P times this whole thing. So if I want to find P itself, what I need to do is I need to undo this thing over. This relationship is multiplication. So I need to undo this thing over here. I'm going to do a opposite of multiplication. I'm going to do a division. Divide by this whole thing. It's just a number. I don't know what is the answer, but I'm going to just divide by the whole thing. Oh, 1.65. Then that will give me the value for P. So now key into your calculator. You type wrongly. Okay, 60. You all know how to use your calculator to find the power, right? Bracket 1 plus 1.65, put as fraction over 100. Power, so choose the one X with the box. Power 12. Then from here, you get in your calculator directly the answer. P will be equal to 5,000.0228. Something. But for money is how many seek accuracy? What should we put for accuracy for money? Is it specific or two decimal place? You put $5,000. They never say nearest dollar, right? Oh, yeah. Oh, have. Okay, so clever. Okay, the question say nearest dollar. Oh, then easy. Okay, normally it's 2 dp, correct. If the question never says so, it's normally 2 dp. But since the question did say nearest dollar, thank you very much, thank you. So I have to put this as $5,000 for the nearest dollar. So nearest whole number. Okay, right? So this question over here, if you look at your 3A2 revision worksheet 2, which some of you have not taken the soft copy or the hard copy, right? This question over here is the same as question number 12, right? For this topical revision worksheet, I revise a bit more questions rather than just the 2023 paper. So for you, I'll make a comment over here, revise worksheet 2, question number 12. Okay. Next question. Now, this question over here involves scale factor, enlargement, and reduction. So pay attention. Some of you are not sure which is original, which one is image. So let's take a look at the question. Trapezium ABCD reduced to trapezium ECFG. 2ECFG. So when it's something to something, it means I have A, B, C, D become ECFG. So which one is the image? Which one is the original? From A, B, C, D, original. To ECFG is the image. Right, so this one is the original and that is the image. Where is Kenshin over here? Kenshin is not here. Then he asked me to explain this question, then he not down here. Okay, never mind if he watches the video. Right, so for original to the image, so this is a reduction. Reduction will means become small, from originally big become small. So now if I want to find the scale factor is given by the length of the image over the length of the original. Okay, it's a reduction. Which one is my image? The big one or the small one? Nobody answered me already. So if it's a reduction, right? So big to small, which one is my image? Image. The small one or the big one? Yes, the smaller one is the image, correct? So I'm going to use the small over the big. Let's find a pair of sides, okay, that has measurements. So in this case, you want to use CD. There's no CD, but CD is got involved in letter Y, right? Sorry again, Rahul. The image is a reduction, right? Reduction, so the final one is become smaller or become bigger? Become smaller, right? Rahul? Okay, so in this case, the image is the smaller one, and I will not use those with Y. I will use the ones with the numbers. All right, who's still here? Oh, Kenshin. Kenshin, you asked me to explain this question, but you just missed some part of it. Okay, I repeat again. Right, this part A, B, C, D is reduced to, okay, trapezium E, C, F, G. So A, B, C, D become E, C, F, G. So A, B, C, D is my original. It become E, C, F, G. This one will be my image. If it's a reduction, reduced to, that means from something big become something small. Okay, from big become the small one. So the small one is my image. The original one is the bigger one. So in this case, if I want to calculate the scale factor, I'll take the image over original, which is my smaller. Matching points, yes, from shape to shape. That's easy. To find which length to find, yes, correct. I must find the matching points. So in this case, I look at the points from here, and I usually use the one that has numbers that can tell me the answer. So from here, you can observe, okay, GF is 7 cm. This is one part of the trapezium. This is also the matching side. Okay, usually how do you find matching side? I'll just put A, B, C, D. Then you match with E, C, F, G. Follow the labeling over here. All right. So in this case, I can see A, D will match with E. E, G. Where's E, G? The answer over here, the number over here, the way they label is not correctly. Okay, wait. Did I read wrongly? E, C, F, G. Oh, I think the way the teacher write the question is not correct. Okay, this one should be A, B, C, D matching with G, E, C, F. So the way the teacher wrote the question, this one is not correct. This should be G, E, C, F. Can you please change? This is not correct. So we should match it accordingly. So then we have AD with GF. Then the matching pair over here, GF and AD will be 10 cm and 7 cm. We take the small one, which is 7 cm over 10 cm. So this will be my scale factor. Is that okay? Right? So now the next part is, after I know my scale factor already, I want to find the value of X. I know that for a diagram, when they are similar, yes, the angle are exactly equal. So in this case, this angle over here is equal to angle X. So they are the same angle. A corresponds to G, so value for X is straight away the number 50. 7 or 10, we make sure we simplify. There's no other, cannot be reduced anymore. This one, they say they want to find value, so I never include any angle over here, the degree over here. So I just put outside. Next, I want to find the value of y. Y is a length, right? So a length over here, what are the sides that has y inside? First one, y over here is one part of this whole portion. This is df, but my whole thing don't have df. My whole thing has this whole thing, dc. It's a yes. Just asking if it's a trapezium. The bottom angle and top angle, they add up to 180 degrees, yes? Because interior angles are parallel lines. Yes. Okay. Then next, I will need to find y. So in this case, I have give me a minute. I have this over here. The whole thing, whole length here is made up of y plus 6. So the whole image here, the bigger one is y plus 6. This is my bigger one. The smaller image over here, this one is just the number 6. This portion is just FC over 6. Okay, since I have my scale factor ratio, small over big is 7 over 10. So the small over the big, I must remember, since I have it as 7 over 10, it must be equals to taking the small length over the big length. So that will be 6 over y plus 6. Okay, small over the big, because they want then we cross multiply. Okay, 7y plus 42, 60, 7y equals 60 minus 42 is 18. Y equals to, not a nice number, but leave it in terms of a fraction. Divide by 7, so it's 18 over 7. So you can either write your answer as 18 over 7, or this is a length. You can write as mixed number 2, 4 over 7. Both answers are correct. Is that okay for this question? Yes, okay, can. Thank you, Rahul. All right. Okay, then I'm going to go through the next one. There are some more important questions at the back also. Okay, next one on indices. Okay, so this one must know how to do basic. We try the minimum questions that we need to practice. Let's recall some important formulas first. Okay, when we have multiplication, what happens to the power? When we have multiplication, what happens to the power? Yes, the power add together, right? Yeah. When we have division, what happens to the power? Subtract, right? Yes, correct. Minus. So in this case, when they say express mx in terms of nf, whatever it means, it just means that I need to have 2 to power of something. So let's write it as 2 to power of m times 2 to power of 1. Since there's nothing on top, so I add a 1 itself. Then 2 to power n. Okay, equals to 2 to the power x. Let's simplify the numerator, this portion first. When I have multiplication, the power adds up. So this will be 2 to the power m plus 1. Okay. Then now next, I have division. This one divided by this one. So when I have division, I'll minus, correct? So 2 to the power m plus 1 minus, usually I'll be careful, I will add a bracket n, but since it's just n on its own, then no problem. But if you have, let's say, n plus 1, then you subtract the whole of n plus 1, then the sign will change. So usually to be more safe, right? If it's a term that's more than n, like got 2 numbers or whatever, I'll put a bracket, okay, to change the sign. So then this one is just 2 to the power x. So if that's the case, the base and the base is the The base here and the base here is the same. So therefore, the power here and the power here must be the same. So I take this equals to this. Therefore, x, they want x. So x is the subject equals to n plus 1 minus n. Have you gotten the answer? Yes. Okay, thank you, Rahul. Which part, Arisa? Okay, I repeat again. Okay, let me write this again. So I'm copying down the whole question over here. Right? This is what I have from the question itself, correct? Then you need to check. When I have multiplication, Arisa, when I have multiplication, what happens to the power? Just now I just highlighted when I have multiplication, what happened to the power? Arisa. Right here, I know you know the answer. Bear with me for a while, okay? Arisa, when I have multiplication, what happens to the power? Here, check, read. Yes, the power add together, right? So from here, the first part, I'm going to deal with this part only. So can you tell me, this is 2 to power of what? I'll take m plus the 1, right? Where did the 1 come from? There's nothing here, right? But it's not 0. So nothing is just 1 on its own. So I add them together. This one okay? So plus over 2 to power n equals to 2 to power x. This one okay? Next one, now second part, when I have division, what happens to the power? Yusuf? Yes, thank you, Arisa. Yusuf? What is Yusuf busy doing? Okay, so when I have division, the power subtract. So in this case, I have this power, I need to subtract. This one is divided, right? I need to subtract which one? I need to subtract n. Okay, so I need to subtract n. So in this case, I will have 2 to power of m plus 1 minus away whatever this power over here is. So to be cautious, if this one has, let's say, more than one term, I'll put a bracket. Yes, Yusuf, will you pay attention? Okay, then you don't know I called you. Okay, so minus away this power n, then equals to 2 to power x. Okay, so in this case, we compare the base here and here, 2 is the same, right? So what is the power? This power and this power will be the same. All right. Okay, so this one and this one are equal. So therefore, m plus 1 minus n equals to x. They want to express x in terms of, so they want x as a subject. I rewrite x in front. Answer. Is this okay? Is this okay? Hello? Okay, Okay, Masha says okay. Arisa? Okay now? Okay, you all never respond to me. Okay, can I? Next question. This one is slightly a little bit harder. Okay, there are some things we need to remember. First one, take a look at the number here. This is something to power 0. We must remember anything to power 0 is the number 1. Right? But then I have the number 27 and the number 9 and the number 3. They are all different. So what do we do in this case? We change all of them to the smallest prime factor. So 27, I need to divide by 3. You get 9, divide by 3, you get 3, divide by 3, 1. So 27 will change become 3 to the power of how many? 3 to the power of what? Here, 27 got 3 to the power of how many? Down here.
3 cube.
3, thank you. So it's 27 itself is 3 to the power of 3 cube, right? Not forgetting outside there is a letter y. It needs to be multiplied with the 3, which is actually 3y lah. 3 times 3, y is 3y, right? Divide, I'll leave it as 3 to the power 0 because since it is base 3, then we need to change number 9, right? 9 can be divided by 3 again. So 9 can be changed to 3 to the power of how many? Ayo, this Hakima. Wait, give me a minute. All right. Okay, then in this case, all right, then in this case, what I need to do, this is 9 to the power of how many? 9 to the power 1, 2, right? So this will be, no, not 9 to the power 2, 3 to the power 2, 3 to the power 2. But remember, outside there is still this thing, y minus 1. So I need to multiply it with y minus 1. So 2 multiplied to the whole thing. Please put your brackets. Next thing, we need to combine this portion over here into one single power. When we have division, what happens to my power? You can choose not to show the calculation on the calculator. You can write it directly, but if you count wrongly, then too bad lah. Okay, yes. So when we have division, what happens to the power? They subtract each other, right? So this one will be 3y minus 0. Actually, technically, 3y minus 0 is just 3y on its own. But this portion over here, this will be 2 times y, 2 times 1. That will give me 3 to the power of 2y minus 2. Okay, right? That will be then. Since the base and the base is the same, so since this and this is the same, 3y minus 0 is equals to 2y. 3y minus 0 is just 3y, equals to 2y minus 2. Then we shift this over here. So we get 3y minus 2y to be equals to negative 2. So this one will be the answer. Okay, I don't know about Hakim, but yeah. Can somebody, never mind, I forgot whether he want to join. Okay, next part of the question, right? This one is slightly a little bit more difficult because we need to see more pattern. First one over here, what do we have? We have 1 over something, and we got power negative 2, right? When we have a negative power, you must remember a to power negative 1. What do you do to the whole power? It becomes 1 over. Or if you have a fraction, power negative 1, what do you do to the fraction? You flip the fraction, correct? You become b over a. Then the power will become a positive power, right? So in this case, what we can do first is there's a negative 2 power here, right? I flip my fraction first and make this become positive. So I flip my fraction, this one will just become 5 over 1. And now this power become positive power 2. which can be simplified to 5 squared, times. Now, what is the square root symbol? What happens when you take square root? When you take square root, the power divides by 2. Okay, when you take square root, the power divide by 2. If you take cube root, the power will divide by 3. Okay, so when we have root, the number of root means we'll take the power divide by something. So I'm going to take the square root of these. This is 5 to power of 3. But when I have the root, I'm going to divide the power by 2. Then equals to 5 to the power of z. Now, when we have multiplication, what happens to the power? When we have multiplication, what happens to the power? We add the power together. So this will be 5 to the power 2 plus 3 over 2. And that gives you 5 to the power of z. Then for algebra, I don't like mixed number. I'll change everything to improper fraction. So we'll calculate your numbers. So since the base and the base, 5 and 5 is the same, so the power will be the same. After calculation, 2 plus 3 over 2 is 7 over 2. So therefore, z is equal to 7 over 2. Any questions? Any questions? Okay, if you're okay, give me a thumbs up, then I continue with the next part of the question. Yes. Can I? Yes means what? Yes means okay, right? Okay, can. All right. Then I shall move on to the next part of question. This one over here, not tested because we test in the previous WA already. So we need to test again. Okay, next one, completing square. How do I know this is the completing square question? It is very, very standard. The moment you see this question over here, write in the form something with a square and then got number outside. Something with a square, some bracket with a square and then got a number outside. Okay, don't care what is the A or B inside here. It means do completing square. So how do we do completing square? Yes, need to divide the number. Okay, let me draw my square first. We begin with, okay, x squared down here. What times what gives me x squared? What times what gives me x squared? The box, yes. So x times x gives me x squared. Then I need to think, what number do I need to put in down here? Right? This one needs to be the term with x term, negative 8x. The negative 8x, I need to split up equally into 2 portions. So split up equally into 2 portions, you divide by 2 to get negative 4x. Therefore, you put minus 4x here, minus 4x here. Then, this one okay? Can So the next portion is I need to think, what number times x can give me negative 4? What number times x can give me negative 4x? Right? So the number over here will be negative 4. And these two should be the same number. Can't help you. You watch. Okay, I can't help Hakim. All right, then here, this part is also negative 4. The two of them must be the same, right? But then I need to know what is the number over here inside this square, right? This square comes from negative 4 times negative 4. So I will have minus 4 times minus 4. Negative times negative equals to positive. And you get 4 times 4, 16. So this number is 16. But originally, my equation don't have the number 16, right? So my equation don't have the number 16. What I need to do is I need to insert the 16 over this portion. My original question don't have 16, so I plus a 16, I minus a 16. So I get x squared minus 8x. I plus 16 minus a 16. Then bring down the minus 7. Are y'all okay with this portion? Can y'all give me a thumbs up if this part is okay? Can understand? Okay, Elena, Kenshin, the rest, I don't know, no, okay, can, all right, can. All right, so Adelina also, okay, can. So in this case, then I have this portion already plus 16 minus 16, right? Then I need to know, oh, I need to do completing square. The first three parts over here, the x squared minus 8 plus 16, become the square. This is x minus 4, become this whole thing here. Right, x minus 4. This comes from where? This comes from the x minus 4. So the whole thing become x minus 4 whole thing squared. Okay, you follow the sign here, negative, negative. So this also negative. Okay, all are negative. Okay, although the question is positive, don't bother about the question. Follow your own working answer. So this negative, you write negative. Don't ignore this sign over here. Okay, who is that? Oh no, okay. Who is this person? Who is Sabia? Okay, I have no idea. For the person who just joined, who are you? Guess. Okay, I don't know. Who are you? Okay, never mind. I just continue teaching. Then next portion over here, I have this portion. This will be minus 16 minus 7. So we'll just calculate negative 16 minus 7. That will give me negative 23. This person, Sabia Wagiman, can you please identify yourself? Who are you? Can you switch on your video? If not, I have to kick you out of my class. I don't know who you are. Hello? No, someone's mother. Yeah, I also know, but is the someone my student? Okay, I also don't know. Okay, never mind. So in this case, I have this part of my answer. This one is my answer. I'm going to keep it as x minus 4 whole thing square minus 23. How many of you managed to get this answer? Those who have managed to get this answer, please give me a tick or something. Tick or thumbs up or something. Yes. Okay, very good. Right. Okay, good. Zixuan, okay, Zixuan know how to do? Yeah. All right, now, okay, very good. Okay, good. You all know how to do. Next part, question say hence. Hence means must use the answer, okay, below, on top. Sorry. Okay, but always remember to check, is this equation exactly the same? Sometimes, okay, it might be different, especially in express syllabus. So sometimes it's not the same, but usually in any syllabus, it will be the same. So if it's the same, then I can happily plug in this portion as this. So this whole thing changed to x minus 4 squared minus 23 equals to 0. Okay. Yes, Cashin, you raise hand. Raise hand means got question or you got it correct. I think you mean got it correct, right? All right. Okay. Okay. Then what do we need to do? First step, shift the negative 23 over. So first step, shift. Okay, I'll get x minus 4 whole thing square. Negative 23 go over there, become positive 23. Second step, how to get rid of the square? We take square root. When we take square root, how many answers are there? Got two answers, plus or minus. Personally, I don't like to write plus or minus. I like to write it as two separate answers. The positive square root 23 or negative square root 23. Okay, next one, shift again, get rid of the number, find x. So I don't want -4, I shift it over, become +4, but it's outside this one is outside the square root. Okay, it must be outside the square root. So I shift this over, it become +4. So x equals to square root 23 outside the square root, yeah? +4, negative square root 23 +4. Then my question wants 3 significant figure, 3 SF, so 3 significant figure. Let me calculate. Usually, remember to press the arrow button to go out of the square root. +4. Usually, I'll write my 5 significant answer first in case I need to use it. So 8.7958, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or negative 0.79583. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then they want 3 significant figures, right? Round these off to 8 point. What is the 3 significant figure? Some of you, I realize that some of you don't know how to count significant figure, right? Start from the first non-zero number. So 1, 2, 3. Then we round up. Okay, so this one becomes 80, right? Instead of 79, it becomes 80. If you write only 8.8, this is only 2 sigfig. It's not correct. So it's 8.80. Yes, Ichen also mentioned, Rahil also mentioned 8.80. Or the other one, -0. Count from the first non-zero number. So 7, 1, 2, 3. Then we round up. So this will be negative 0.796. 3SF, 3SF. Okay, count from the first non-zero number. Is that okay? Yes, right here we say what? What do you mean by what? What do you mean by how? How to count the sigfig, is it? Count from the first non-zero number. So the first non-zero number is not 0. The first non-zero number is 7. 7. So it's 1, 2, 3. So the third sigfig is down here. We look at the fourth number, round up. No, negative 0.80 will be only 2 significant figures because the first non-zero number is 8. So your answer is not correct. So it is negative 0.796. 8 I that. Icha, I don't understand your question. Can you talk to me? You tell me something else different, whatever that this is later. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what each other is saying. You talk to me later. Where maybe they will explain to me. Okay, question 8 is a word problem, but I will go through tomorrow word problem in class. More of the word problems. Okay, some examples. So this one is on area. Tomorrow I'll go through the one on rate. That one is more popular. Okay, but even if I do not know how to solve the question, please remember that you can solve the equation using the formula. But always remember, writing down the formula over here has no marks. Yes, we need to do word problems. Yes, I'll do that in class tomorrow. Yes, of course, there are many word problems, Ichen. Okay, but you must remember to sub in values. This is the place that will give you the 1 mark. Please write your brackets accordingly. Then you use your calculator, mode 522 or 533 or whatever, get your answers. All right, so you get your answers. Can? Okay, so this one I'll go through more on this together. So I'm going to move on to our last part of the whole remedial, Zoom remedial on graphs. Okay, this one is very important. You cannot give up on this question directly. You need to at least draw the graph, plot the points and draw the graph. Okay, so let's begin with, I'll go through the very basic of the basic first. Okay, let's go through with this question. How do we complete this table? Now, equation over here is y equals to x squared minus 2x minus 7, right? So we have y equals to x squared minus 2x minus 7. I always tell my students, write down the brackets. Because when you key inside a calculator with the negative number, sometimes you don't put brackets, the answer will come out very differently. First part, I want to find the answer over here. To find this answer, my x value is -2. To To find this answer, my x value is -2. So I put -2 inside my equation and calculate this. Bracket -2, remember to bracket whole thing square. Okay, without the bracket, your answer may be different. So just put the brackets. And I key everything, I got my answer to be -1. Okay, next question, I need to find the value for here. For this value, my x value is 1. So my x value is 1. Which one you got 1? You mean for this one is 1 or this one is 1? This one is 1. You sure? Let me press this again. Bracket -2 whole thing square minus 2 bracket -2 minus 7. Oh, answer is 1. Okay, sorry. Yo, did I come on? Yeah, I double check again. -2 whole thing square minus 2 minus 2 minus 7. Okay, answer is 1. Thank you. Do y'all get the same answer as well? And will they label the numbers in the graph also during the exam? For your syllabus, yes. Because sometimes no, they'll just draw the axis, then they'll give you a scale, then you draw the scale. Yeah. Okay, but manual is always at the test paper. No, there's no graph paper. You draw on the black and white worksheet. Then the next question, the answer here, 1 square minus 2 times 1 minus 7. What answer do you get? I got -8. Is it correct? Correct, -8. Now, I need to bring your attention and highlight your attention to something over here regarding line of symmetry. Do you notice that there is a same y value over here? Do you see that these two y values are the same? If these two y values are the same, what can you tell me about the line of symmetry? The line of symmetry will be down here, correct? Okay, the line of symmetry will be down here. So that means, what is going to be my x value for the line of symmetry? My x will be in the middle of 0 and 2. In between 0 and 2, the answer is 1, right? So this one will give me the line of symmetry, x equals to 1. So this one will be my turning point. Okay, so the teacher has very nicely given you the graph, points that you can plot properly. Next one, we're going to plot the points. First point, -3, 8, -3, 8. Right, -3, 8. So I have plot -3, then go up level 8 over here. Next one, -2, 1. -2, 1. I have to go 5 squares. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I plotted the remaining points, -1, -4, 0, -7. This one is 1, -8. So let me plot my turning point when it's 1, -8. So down here. Okay, so I go this portion over here. Then how do I start drawing my graph? I will start from my turning point over here. Okay, I'll draw one part that is similar first. It may be somewhere else. Then I'll draw the other part using your curve ruler. And if the portion over here is not nice, then I will just smoothen the graph over here. Okay, so okay, I try to draw this freehand on iPad, which is not going to be very nice. Okay. My hand is shaking, as you can see. All right, I try my best already. Okay, so but I think in exam you can draw better than me lah, no problem. Okay, so the graph, shape of the graph will look something like that. If you have not, you can draw without curve ruler. if you draw a nice smooth curve, if you draw like a very thick pencil or like sketchy lines, I will have to minus marks. And just one line, you see the way I draw freehand, but it's just one smooth line, although mine a bit shaky. No, you do not draw a line with pen. No, you draw a line with pencil. Okay, crooked. Yeah, my graph is not very nice. So for me, with my this kind of graph, I will minus marks for the student who give me this graph. Yeah. So in this case, my answer is not going to be perfect answer because I draw without the curve ruler, right? So my answers are not going to be exact. Okay, let's focus, ending soon. Okay, using your graph, use your graph to find the value of y when x equals to what number? X equals to negative 1.5, right? So I want the x value, x-axis, x negative 1.5. So negative 1.5 is somewhere here. So I have x equals to negative 1.5. I need to go, what do I do? Do I go up? This one must ask Feng Qing. Feng Qing, do I go up or go down to touch the graph? Feng Qing, are you still there? Feng Qing? Yes, go down. The other time, I don't know what you at least do. You're going to draw somewhere, right? So we go down. Okay, draw dotted line. Okay, draw dotted line there. Okay, may not be exactly the same, so it's just an estimate of my answer. I will mark the answers according to your graph. Plus or minus is a range, right? Oh my, they say my internet connection is not very stable. Okay, all right. Then I read this number. How to read this number and how to read the scale must be among alert. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 squares. 10 square equal to from 0 to negative 2. 0 jump to negative 2 is 2 units. So I divide by 10. 1 square will be 0.2 of a unit. Okay, 0.2 of a unit. That means this is 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, 1, negative 1, negative 1.2, negative 1.4, negative 1.6. So this number will be negative 1.6. This is your y value. Okay, so your graph, find the value of y equals to negative 1.6 according to my graph. No problem, plus or minus, usually plus or minus 0.1. So should be acceptable. Anyway, my answer also not accurate. So I'll use the computer to churn out answers. Then from there, I'll give a range. Next, find the value of x when y equals to 6. So y is equals to 6 now. So find the value of x. So we go to the y-axis. Y equals to 6, right? Go to the y-axis. Y equals to 6 here. Oops, my graph only got one side, right? It didn't extend to the other side because I have no graph over here. So in this case, that means there's only one answer, right? Usually there's two answers. So when y equals to 6, I draw my dotted line across, okay, to touch my graph. So in this case, go left. Okay, sometimes go left and right. Okay, my answer, not very nice number, is in the middle of nowhere. Okay, so we can read negative 2.1.2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 square is 1 unit. 1 square will be 0.1 unit. So negative 1, negative 2, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7. My one is negative 2.75 in the middle. Or you can use negative 2.8. Yeah, each of the line is very dark. Cannot see the dot. It's not a dot. You see cross. You mark cross. You notice I don't put dot. So definitely, if it's cross, you should be able to I should be able to see the answer. right? Then you use a sharper, darker pencil or whatever. You cannot. Okay, I can't help. That is the way that the question is going to be. All right, so in this case, my answer is negative 2.7. Okay, around here you got negative 2.6. Should be okay. Plus or minus our mark according to the graph question. So my answer negative 2.75. Next one, write down the equation of line of symmetry. Have we found the line of symmetry just now? Okay, where is the line of symmetry? The line of symmetry passes through the middle point, right? So here, this is my line of symmetry, isn't it? So I have this. Oops. Don't draw nearer. Okay. And I get my answer over here. X equals to what number? X equals to the number 1. This is on my x-axis, right? So it's just the equation x equals to 1. So a lot of students write the answer 1. But 1 is not an equation. 1 is a number. It cut the x-axis. So you have to write x equals to 1. You must have this x equals to as a number. Is it okay so far? These are the basics. Now, last two parts of the question. Write down the equation of a line that can be used with this graph. This is your original graph that you have drawn. So this is the graph that I have drawn. But the question now asks me x squared minus 2x minus 5. Observe and compare. I have x squared, correct? I have negative 2x, correct? But one is negative 7, one is negative 5. This portion over here is not correct. What do I need to do? I need to change this into x squared minus 2x minus 7 to fit my graph. But I need to think, from minus 5, how to get minus 7? What other number do I need to add or subtract? Minus 5. What do I do to get negative 7? No answer. Eyo. Minus 5, what do I do? Yes, you minus 2 more, right? So I subtract 2 on the left-hand side. Yes, minus 2. I also must subtract 2 on my right-hand side. So it become minus 7. Okay, so this whole portion become minus 7. Then this one over here become minus 2. Okay, notice that y equals to this whole thing. So this whole thing replaced by the letter y equals to the number -2. So you draw the line y equals to -2 and you read the graph. Usually have 2 answers depending on how much the graph is being drawn up. Usually have 2 answers, okay? All right, so let's go back to our graph and draw y equals to -2. Y-axis, so this is my y-axis, -2. Unfortunately, you notice there's no number here, no graph here over this side, so it's only this side. So I will go for this answer, only one answer. So I'll draw y equals to -2. Then you turn, then read the number. So -1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. So I got -1.4 as my answer. Okay, what about your answer? Does this question come regularly? Yes. If not, why do you think I'm going through? Okay, my answer will be x equals to -1.4. Sometimes you have 2 answers. Yeah, it's a bit hard. So this is the high level. Question paper cannot totally be everything all simple, right? The second portion is even harder. Okay, so this one must think a little bit. So x equals to this. Sometimes when you have two answers, right, you can put one answer or the second answer. So when you have questions that have two answers, you need to put the word or. Okay? But for this one, only one answer. Next one. Now, hence solve the number. Oh, sorry, I write wrongly. Wait. Part A, they asked me to write down the equation of the line. Sorry, I answered both questions at the same time. They asked me to write down the equation of line. So the equation of line is just y equals to -2. Then the answer, they say hence solve, right? I draw my graph already. I read the graph already. And then I got my answer. What was my answer? Oh, -1.4, is it? Right, I got my answer, -1.4. So this part of the answer, x equals to -1.4. Answer. Okay? Can? So this part of the graph, please take note. So this part of questions you need to do. Equation, which equation? That one, the equation is using a quadratic formula or whatever. This one is using graph. So using graph, I should not have a lot of working. I should read the answers from the graph each. Okay? So if that's the case, and you have no other questions, then those of you who want to look through indices question, you can stay. If not, then you want to go off for the remedial, then it's up to you, no problem. Okay. I will stop my recording from here. Oops, where's my recording function? Okay, then yeah. Quadratic formula for WA1. Quadratic formula, it will be tested as well. There is a word problem. That one is for word problem. This one is graph question, must use the graph for the graph question. Yes, correct. Okay, so those of you who don't need to stay for indices or whichever, you may go off already, and I'll stop my recording from here. Thank you for attending my remedial. Bye-bye.